Pluto in your chart is where your power is hidden. The energy behind Pluto in your chart signifies that this is where you want to play the game of power. And when you do play the game of power, you'll find that it's easier for you to play. Now, let me show you who I want to introduce to you, because this is a major influence in this entire idea of what I want to put together. This right here is Robert Greene, and he has written some incredible books. I'm sure some of you've heard of him. This book right here is the 48 Laws of Power, and it is an incredibly Plutonian book. One law that I want to introduce and bring to your manifestation journey is to say less than necessary. And the reason that this is a power play is because speaking has a lot to do with our self-control, especially in the midst of other people. So, where you have Pluto in your chart, I want you to practice saying less than necessary. It's going to be something that allows you to play the power role using your own energy. And if you need any sort of inspiration, here's my story. Right now, I'm having some serious situations with people who have been very intimidating in my life. And everyone is asking me about how much money. And every single time they ask me, I don't tell them. And I keep myself far from revealing anything. And it has really helped me to position myself in the place where people would have a lot to say and judge me based off of how much they think I should be making and things like that. So I want you to look at Pluto in your chart and think about what people might come to you and ask you about at that placement, and try your best to say less than necessary. Saturn is where you are a problem solver. Saturn in your chart, when harnessing this energy, you become someone that fixes people's problems based off of the problems that you had, just like a businessman would. A business person is looking at the world and providing solutions to problems. And so when you look at your Saturn and operate with your Saturn from this angle, I want you to think about what it is that you would be providing solutions for based off of your Saturn's house placement. This is the first step. The second step is to figure out who is your ideal client. This is important because this is going to help you understand who it is that you're focusing your karmic rewards towards. And you can actually create your ideal client based off of your Saturnian energy. So where in the chart of the zodiac is your Saturn, and where in the house is your Saturn, could you figure out what your ideal client would be? Some things you might want to answer is, what phase in the life is your ideal client in their life? And how is it that you might actually help them in that phase of their life? This narrows down your ideal client to someone in a very specific phase of their life, and really helps you to target your karmic rewards towards that person. And the other thing is, what is it that they would be learning from you about? And this is where you can color it in. You can use your Saturnian house placement and zodiac placement, but craft this aura, craft this idea in your mind about your ideal client. Where are they in their life? What is it that you would be offering? And really kind of conjure up that story for yourself. I'm going to provide some questions to help you get into this energy. And you can also feel free to keep this to yourself because it might be kind of special, or you can share this to the group too. How manifestation is like journeying through the Underground Railroad. By the end of this video, you will know how to plan out your next 5 days using this concept and technique. This is you. And this is your road to your manifestation. Okay? It's a straight linear line. However, you are here and your manifestation is here. Now, you're going to make several stops along the way. And we're going to count them as 5 days for this situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, these little stops are the houses that you are going to stop along the way to your manifestation. And this is why manifesting can be seen in one way as journeying through the Underground Railroad. What you want to see this as is that every time you get a little bit closer, it gets a little bit better. Okay? But you are Harriet Tubman, and your 3D reality is everybody that you got to take along with you. And so every stop, it gets a little bit better, but it's actually still things you got to deal with every stop, which means that every day you're going to have something that aligns you to your manifestation, but you're also going to have the harsh reality that things are not quite where they are. And it's kind of like when you have to stay overnight in somebody's house in the Underground Railroad. Are you guys following yet? So, in order to plan your way to this, you're actually going to assign a routine to each day of your manifestation. This routine is going to make sure that you are en route to your manifestation. And we're going to use the planets and the house system concepts, the ones that I think are the best suited for this challenge. Okay. So I want you to come up with your goal, your manifestation, which will be around this day, day 5. Okay. And these are your steps, your houses that you got to sleep under. You're going to be, every house gets a little bit better, but you got to recognize that you're still en route. And so it's not always going to be pleasant. You're still going to be dealing with harsh reality, maybe the things that aren't manifested yet, and the frequency of the possibility that it will be in every single house. Imagine like you're staying in somebody's house. It's not yours, but you know you're on your way. That's our manifestation technique for these 5 days.